4. Effortless Mindfulness Pain Relief. One winter, I was having a wonderful time sledding with my nephew. On one downhill run, we hit a big bump, and my nephew flew into the air and off to one side. I reached for him and pulled him onto the sled as we hit the next bump. That's when I felt a sharp pain in the lower right side of my back. I twisted it. It felt as if I were being stabbed by knives that shot a fiery agony down my lower back to my knee. I hobbled around for months as if I were dragging a wooden leg, trying to not aggravate my injury. Sometimes the pain was pins and needles dull, and sometimes it was intense, but it was a constant, chronic condition. Over the next few months, I visited all kinds of doctors, chiropractors, and acupuncturists seeking relief. The diagnosis was sciatica, which is a compression of the sciatic nerve in the upper leg and lower back. I went to my primary care physician, who told me he had suffered from sciatica since he had hurt his back in the Korean War. He said, "There's nothing you can do about it except take some pressure off it. I can give you some medication if you'd like, but the pain will never completely go away. You can do some stretches, but you'll just have to learn to live with it." I chose to not take any pain medication, and I tried some alternative treatments, including deliberate mindfulness, that gave occasional relief, but the pain remained chronic. At that point in my life, thanks to effortless mindfulness, I had experienced enough of a shift of awareness that I wasn't experiencing much emotional suffering about the pain, but this did not eliminate the continual physical pain. I trusted that all was well and relied on a more deliberate mindfulness approach of observing and not judging unpleasant sensations or feelings, so as not to add more mental suffering to the physical pain. Deliberate mindfulness is helpful with pain because it allows us to separate the objective sensory experience of pain from the more subjective judgments we attach to pain, which color the way we experience it. While being able to step back and observe the pain from the outside was a great teaching of deliberate mindfulness, it was, unfortunately, not enough to relieve my chronic pain. I learned to accept the pain as it continued and thought that that was good enough, seeing that pain is a part of human life with no way around it. But then I became curious. Could effortless mindfulness treat physical pain the same way that it treated mental and emotional pain? That's when I began experimenting, and I had a remarkable discovery. The healing power of awake awareness can be applied to pain in the body as well as to the mind. I have found local awareness has an intelligence that can move directly within the signal of pain to its source to see what is true. Then the pain signal goes to the background intelligence of awake awareness. What is pain? Pain is a normal part of human life, and pain hurts. Although pain feels like a threat, pain is not attacking us. Pain is designed to help us survive. Pain and pleasure are signals. Pain is a signal that something is out of balance in your emotional, mental, spiritual, or physical life, and that something needs attention. It is meant to be unpleasant, for a good reason, to bring our attention to a potentially dangerous situation until the issue is treated. The sharp, unpleasant signal is designed that way to make sure we drop everything else and attend to our situation immediately. When pain continues unabated after our best healthy efforts to tend to it in a physical way, we look for ways of stopping it, reducing it, or escaping it any way we can. For example, if you're walking barefoot, thoroughly engaged in a conversation with a friend, and you step on a piece of wood and get a splinter, the strong, unpleasant pain signal is meant to get you to immediately stop all other interests and attend to the wound. If you had a sharp piece of wood in your foot and it didn't cause pain, you might not bother to take it out, resulting in infection or worse. Once you take care of the immediate problem, or source, the nature of pain is to eventually go away. Pain by itself is not an entity or an enemy that has any motivation of hurting you. It is an important survival mechanism of our body. a communication tool. By way of our senses, we have contact with experience in and outside of our body that tends to feel either pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. We tend to like pleasant sensations, which leads to craving what we like and trying to get more pleasure, and we tend to dislike unpleasant sensations, which leads to rejecting what we don't like. When that strong craving or rejection happens, there is a contraction of our greater sense of self into a specific identity of craver or rejector. We reconfigure our consciousness into a me that is a thinker or manager that has a strategy to get its goals and desires met and believes that that strategy is real and right. Craving and rejection are a normal part of our physical survival, like craving food when we're hungry. But they also become our primary source of suffering when they become our identity. Rather than reacting to the pain, we must treat the underlying condition that is causing pain in order for it to subside. It is impossible to first check out the cause of the pain in every way possible so as not to ignore, overlook, or deny a potentially dangerous condition. In some types of chronic pain that we know the cause of, like arthritis or sciatica, the nerve signal system is alerting us of an issue, but there's no splinter to be removed from our back or foot. If we've attended to all the medical and alternative diagnoses and treatments, and the pain still persists, we still have the opportunity to learn some approaches using our own consciousness to relate to pain differently. Effortless mindfulness is a wonderful approach that does not in any way attempt to replace or deny diagnosing the cause of pain and working to cure it through any and all means. I am simply sharing this practice as a suggestion of what can be done in conjunction with any medical treatment. With effortless mindfulness, we can learn to become present with the unpleasant, an important skill that we often avoid learning until we experience inescapable pain. We may already have experienced, through effortless mindfulness, how chattering thoughts recede into background awareness or can be met by open-hearted awareness. The great news is that we can do this with pain signals as well. They can become like thoughts and go into the background of awake awareness. When the pain signals recede to the background or significantly lessen, we no longer have to suffer silently or try to escape the pain through behaviors of shutting down, numbing, addiction, or acting out. By changing how we relate to pain, we can find a doorway to a freedom that allows us to respond to pain from courage and intimacy. We can learn to be present with the unpleasant, remain sensitive without being defensive, and be responsive but not reactive. When the intelligence of awake awareness knows directly that there is no immediate danger, the pain signal can go into the background. In my own experience with back pain, the pain no longer needed to send a message from my back to my brain to signify danger or check this out. When I allowed awake awareness to experience itself as awareness energy and embrace and eventually recognize that my pain was not separate from my intelligent awareness, it put an end to any resistance and secondary suffering. When this happened, the pain energy became effervescent. It gave me a strangely warm and blissful feeling. Because I could work with the pain through my awareness in this way, I came to understand that the sciatic pain signal was not because of a ripped muscle or cut tissue or knife in my back, even though it felt like that at times. It was simply a signal to get me to notice the situation, which was not related to a real threat. Within a week of starting to experiment using effortless mindfulness, the pain abated, and by the end of the second week, it was at worst an occasional dull ache, like a sore muscle. It has not returned as a chronic condition to this day. I may get a twinge in my back occasionally if I twist suddenly, but even that does not stay long. The other unique change is that pain does not shoot up to my head. I feel it only in my lower back area. This method has not only relieved my own chronic pain, but has worked for many of my clients and students as well. Once local awareness meets and acknowledges the pain directly, most people report reduction in their experience of pain from around an 8 on a pain scale of 1 to 10 to a dull 2. Though many of us are not taught this, being sensitive and vulnerable is one of the most beautiful dimensions of human life. However, if we are sensitive, we are exposed to pleasure and pain on the physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional levels. If our best option of treating pain is to defend ourselves by becoming less sensitive, we will feel pain but also less pleasure and less fullness of life. The interesting process of effortless mindfulness is to become more vulnerable and more sensitive by opening to a subtler, vaster, more embodied dimension of consciousness that also has more courage and support. This is helpful for all levels of suffering and pain, while at the same time, each type of pain may need to be met with a slightly different approach. The good thing is that the natural intelligence and intuition that are available to us as we shift into open-hearted awareness will give us good clues as to how to meet our particular type of pain in the way that matches our unique system. I have received many emails and reports at retreats from students who have experienced pain relief from this practice. Not only have they applied it to sciatica and arthritis, but to menstrual cramps, painful recovery after surgery, and other causes of short-term and chronic pain. Here is a report of the usefulness of effortless mindfulness from one student who had lived with chronic pain for many years due to surgery that affected the nerves in his neck. Loch's simple but intensive approach to awake awareness drew me in instantly. Here was a practice that transported me to a place both deep within and way outside my body. Once I learned those exercises, those small glimpses many times, I realized on the spot that first day that without even trying, without knowing what would be the case, my pain dissipated. I know what it is like to be pain-free, if even for a little while, each day. It is not something I set out to do, or something I thought I would ever experience, but it's a beautiful side effect of the awake awareness experience and the path to open-hearted awareness. Local awareness is the key to pain relief. The key to being able to do this effortless mindfulness pain relief method is to distinguish local awareness from attention. Let's review the difference with these experiential glimpses so that we get a feel of local awareness. Glimpse. Experiencing attention. 1. Look at one of your hands. Now, move that hand out of your vision and bring your attention to that hand. Try to continue applying your attention there for a short while. 2. What was your experience of attention like? Initially, when you use attention to focus, you may feel that your head, where your brain and eyes are located, is your central place of perceiving. When you bring your attention to your hand, does it feel like you are in your head, looking down at your hand? Or does it seem as if you are shining a flashlight from your head to your hand? Or do you feel connected, as if a telephone cable is running from your head to your hand while sending signals back and forth? Do you feel how attention can wander? Are you able to feel that maintaining attention is a continuous practice of remembering and forgetting? Glimpse. Experiencing local awareness. Now that we've experienced attention, let's see how local awareness differs. In order to experience local awareness, you need to unhook local awareness from thought and know your hand directly from within. Try this for yourself now. 1. Unhook local awareness from thought and let local awareness begin to move down through your neck and know your shoulder from within. 2. Slowly move local awareness like a knowing, invisible bubble down your arm into your elbow. Feel the awareness of space and sensation directly from within. 3. Continue to let local awareness move down your forearm until it feels your hand from within. 4. Experience this new type of knowing that is happening directly from within your hand. 5. Notice that when awareness knows your hand from within, it does not refer to a mental image of your hand. It feels the space and aliveness of the sensations, so there is not a clear boundary of inside and out. Notice the way in which local awareness knows your body directly from within. Once local awareness has unhooked, thought is no longer the primary mode of knowing, yet thought is available as needed. If you do not reference a memory or image of your hand, your experience of your hand shifts into direct knowing. Direct knowing is spacious, alive, and much more fluid in feeling than attention. You've just experienced how local awareness moves from thinking in your head to being able to directly know from within your hand. Now you can begin to get a sense of the feeling of local awareness unhooking and moving to any area where you are experiencing a pain signal. The important thing here is feeling how local awareness moves and knows directly from within. Glimpse. Effortless Mindfulness Pain Relief Method. Here is a mindful glimpse to work with physical pain. Many people have found, with this approach, that their experience of pain and discomfort can change so that suffering is dramatically reduced. Before you begin, make sure that a medical professional has evaluated your condition. As you practice, don't try to make a heroic effort. Instead, the key is simply this. Instead of trying to move away from the pain or finding that you've automatically done so, learn to shift your local awareness to discover the awake awareness that's already with and within the pain. A good metaphor is that the pain is continually calling the operator in your brain. You can make it so that the operator, in this case local awareness, can actually go down to meet the caller and see what is going on. Since the pain has been directly met, it no longer needs to try to get the operator's attention, and the phone can stop ringing. Through practicing this exercise, see what you can discover and what might change in your relationship with your pain. 1. Begin by becoming aware of your body, and then notice the area where you feel pain. Notice the qualities of the specific area and its borders, where the pain begins and ends. 2. Notice the area just outside the borders of the pain. Now, notice the space between this area of pain and the location in your head where you're focusing from. Notice the feeling of the pain signal being sent from the painful area to your head. 3. Bring your awareness to your head, and instead of looking at the pain from above as a mindful observer, unhook local awareness from your thinking. 4. Feel local awareness begin to travel internally down to feel your jaw directly from within your jaw. 5. Feel local awareness move to be aware of your throat, knowing your throat directly from within. Now feel local awareness, like a bubble of intelligence, as it continues to move within your body toward the area of your pain. 6. As you do this, feel that you are knowing directly from the local awake awareness that is sensing from within your body. As local awareness moves into the area of pain, allow local awareness to feel gently within the area of pain without referring to thought. 7. Local awake awareness can sense the aliveness, space, and awareness within the atoms of the place of painful signals. 8. Local awareness has traveled to the source of the signal, so there is no distance between the origin of the pain signal and the place where the call is received. Local awareness enters the pain and the space. It gets subtler and subtler. Local awareness joins with the area that's sending the pain signal, and it assesses. Is there really a threat here now? 9. Local awareness sees that pain is made of awareness and knows directly that there is no dangerous threat that needs to be constantly monitored. No action, response, or ongoing pain signal is needed to be sent to the brain, as the situation is now clearly seen by the intelligence of awake awareness. 10. Local awareness reaches the pain, meets it, and becomes intimate with it, recognizing that it is not other. Let the pain sensations be rerouted to the spacious awake awareness all around your body. Continually responding to the pain signal is no longer necessary. Local awareness has already responded and is currently within the area of pain. The pain signal can now go into the background, to the field of the intelligence of awake awareness, rather than the small self or small mind. There is a connection to the source of intelligence, a larger field of open-hearted awareness that is embodied and compassionately comforting. In the first part of this book, we've learned how effortless mindfulness is different and complementary to deliberate mindfulness. In part 2, we will go through how to practice effortless mindfulness step by step in a variety of new ways, so that you can find your favorite way of accessing this in your daily life, to reduce suffering, and to discover your optimal mind and your natural joy of being.